Good morning, everyone. So we are moving to the next topic. This is Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws of motion. Now, before I start, I'll tell you a few points that you need to know. Okay. See, what is meant by force? You have learned this in lower classes. I'm just telling you the prerequisites. What is meant by force? What is meant by force? Imagine a box is sitting here. All right, a box is sitting here. Okay, and if I keep the box there, if I come back after 1,000 years, the box will still be there, right? If nobody touches it, right? So if the box is to start moving, you need something. That guy is called a force. So what is a force? A force is something that is needed to start a motion. To start a motion. All right. You need a push or a pull so that a body starts moving. Second case, imagine you have a frictionless surface. Have you heard about Teflon? Teflon? That is actually a patented material by an American company called DuPont. DuPont. Teflon material. You use it every day. Can you tell me where? In kitchen. Have you seen this non-stick frying pan? Non-stick frying pan. There's a coating over it. It is actually what? It is actually Teflon. It is Teflon coated frying pan. Understood? You can't scratch it and eat because it's carcinogenic. All right. That is why they give you a wooden tawa along with it, right? Wooden tawa, wooden spoon, right? Okay, you have to use wooden spoon with the frying pan, non-stick frying pan, Teflon. Or even the car, your car. When you go to the garage, they do the Teflon coating over it. Why? That is done to reduce the friction so that you can drive faster. All right, air friction will be less. Understood? So you do Teflon coating over your car so as to reduce the friction given by air. All right. I'm sorry, something happened. Can you all hear me? Right. Okay. All right. Thank you. So, okay. So, Teflon is actually a frictionless material. Frictionless material. Imagine you have a frictionless surface. Maybe a rod coated with a highway coated with Teflon. And you are rolling a ball on the surface. Will it stop? No, it will roll forever. The ball would roll forever. If there is no friction, the ball would be rolling forever. So who stops the body then? Friction, right? Friction. Am I correct? So basically, you need something to start a motion or stop a motion. All right, that guy is called force. Force is what then? Force is something that starts a motion or stops a motion. You need a push or pull to start a motion or stop a motion. That is called force. Now, second one, what is meant by balanced force and unbalanced force? Look at this. Look at this. Balanced force and unbalanced force. Balanced and unbalanced. What is meant by balanced? What is meant by unbalanced? Look at this. Imagine I'm standing here and I'm being pulled to the left with a force 10 Newton. I'm being pulled to the right with a force 10 Newton. What is the net force on me? What is the net force on me? 10 to the right, 10 to the left. Just imagine I'm standing here, the hand is pulling me to the right with 10, net force is pulling me to the left with 10. So the net force on me will be 0. Correct. So I can call them balanced forces. Imagine Gayatri is pulling me up with 100 Newton and Nabil is pulling me down with 100 Newton. Still the forces are what? Balanced, right? Balanced, right? So all the forces on me are now balanced forces. Okay. Now what if one more force is acting in this direction, 60 Newton? Now they are unbalanced forces, right? Why? Why? There is nobody to balance the 60 Newton. If there is a 60 Newton in opposite direction, they will be balanced. So balanced means the forces are cancelling out. All right. The net force will be 0. All right. And the third point, what is meant by internal and external forces? Internal and external. Now think about this. Imagine you are sitting inside your car and you are trying to push the car. Will the car move? You are sitting in the back seat and you're trying to push the car. push the seat, will the car move? No. That is because it is an internal force from within the system. But if you want the car to move, you must come outside and push from behind, right? That is an external force. Or think about this. Can I lift Nashwa by pulling? Can Nashwa lift herself up by pulling by hair? Can she lift herself up? No. Because her hair is part of her system, right? Her body. So that is again an internal force. But somebody else can do it, right? Correct. See, you can hold your friend by her hair and then lift. Why? Because it is an external force. On the other hand, when you do it on your own body, it is internal force. Got it? So that is the third thing you have to know. So these 3 points are important in today's discussions. I repeat one more time. Look at this. The first point is what is force? Force is simply, you've been hearing this word for so long now. Force is something that starts a motion or stops a motion. For example, if I leave this pen here, the pen will stay there for another billion years, provided no one touches it. Correct? Correct. The pen does not move. The pen does not have life. The pen cannot move on its own. Somebody has to push it or somebody has to pull it. So basically, a force is needed to start a motion or stop a motion. Stopping, how do you think of it? Like I said, roll a ball on the surface. The ball stops because of frictional force. Okay, friction. There is something called friction. In the absence of friction, the ball would roll forever. The ball would never stop rolling. Okay, right. So that is force. I can tell you another example. Have you heard about simple pendulum? Simple pendulum. That is a standard experiment across the world for finding acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity value is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, how do you find it? You just pull it, release it, and you have an equation. Okay, just imagine I'm doing this experiment in this room and I'm removing all the air from this room. If I come back after 1,000 years, the pendulum would still be oscillating. Why? There is no air friction. Understood? Who causes it to stop? Air friction causes it to stop. Got it? That is why when we learn simple pendulum, we will ensure that air is absent. Understood? Air is absent. So, this is my point. Force is something that is needed to start a motion or stop a motion. In order to start the car, you need the engine to apply a force. In order to stop the ball, you need friction to act. Correct. Second thing, balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Tell me, balanced force means what? The forces are balanced if they cancel out. Okay, if they cancel out. Imagine I have a box. Now the force is unbalanced, 10 Newton. Now the forces are unbalanced, balanced. Now the force is unbalanced. Now the forces are balanced. Now the force is unbalanced. Now the forces are balanced. Got it? So all the forces should, in all directions, all the forces should cancel out. Am I correct? That is when you have net force on the system equal to 0. Got it? That is called balancing of forces. The literal meaning, balancing force is what? Balance of forces. Forces are balanced. Okay. Then I told you about internal force and external force. Think of the 2 scenarios I told you. You trying to push your car while sitting inside the car. That is never going to happen, right? If you want the car to move, you have to push from behind, outside the system. That is called external force. Okay. And or if you want to lift yourself up, you can't do it because the hair is part of your body. Or you might have seen this in what you call reels and all. No, there is a car, and they say like you can attach a magnet to this. Have you seen that? No, the magnet will pull the car will start moving, and car will move eventually. That will never happen. That will never happen because their argument is like the magnet will pull the car. But is it possible? No. It is attached to this part of the system, internal force, right? Car won't move. Haven't you seen this in reels and all? You're not in Instagram, no? Nothing. Then this has come so many times on my feed. Right, this is what, look at this. When you have this, it's been there for so long, it is not going to work. You keep a magnet attached to a toy car and put it this way, the magnet will attract the car. The car will keep moving. That is your argument. Okay, they have done it for this one. That's it. Okay, but anyway, this is not going to happen. Why? Because magnet and car are attached. They are part of the same system. So that will never happen. Understood? So this is internal force again. All right. But if you detach this, if you keep this magnet in hand, and then try bringing it here, obviously that will attract the car. That is not part of the system anymore. All right. Okay. So anyway, this is the first idea we have. So why did I tell you about this? Because we have Newton's law of inertia, first law. Every body continues to be in its state of rest. State of rest. I said every body continues to be in its state of rest, all of uniform motion, unless compelled by an external unbalanced force. External unbalanced force. I told you the force has to be external. Did you understand the meaning of it? I can tell you, a body at rest, in simple common man's language, it is nothing but this. A body at rest cannot start moving unless an external unbalanced force acts on it. A body in motion cannot stop unless and until an external unbalanced force acts on it. Understood? This is what the law says. The law is also called law of inertia. Hope you know what inertia is. Have you heard of inertia? The inability of a body to change its state. For example, inertia of rest. Have you seen inertia in action? Have you seen this Jackie Chan movie where he pulls a cloth very quickly? Have you seen that tablecloth? No. So there is a table on which there is a tablecloth laid. On top, there are so many objects. He suddenly pulls the cloth, nothing will topple it. All of them will stay there because all those objects have inertia of rest. They have a tendency to remain at rest. All right. You can try this at home, but you have to be real quick. All right. Put a tablecloth on your table, then put something on top of it. Heavy objects would be better. Then you suddenly pull the cloth, nothing will happen, nothing will topple. Okay, everything will stay intact. Understood? That is inertia of rest. I can show you something. Similar way, there is inertia of motion. Inertia of rest, I can tell you another example. Imagine you are standing inside a bus. Okay. All of a sudden, the bus starts moving. What will happen? You will fall forward or backward. Haven't you ever been on a bus? Tell me, when you stand on the bus, when the bus suddenly starts, you'll fall backward, right? You'll fall backward, right? Why? Because your foot, which is still in contact with the bus, move along with the bus. But the upper part of the body has inertia of rest. It loves to be at rest. It stays there. Understood where it was. Only the lower part will keep moving. That is why you're falling backward. Understood? No. Imagine you're standing inside a bus. The bus suddenly starts. Which part will move ahead? Lower part, to be precise, your foot is in contact with the floor of the bus. So that will go along with the bus. Whereas the upper part of the body, it actually doesn't want to come to motion. Okay, it has inertia of rest. It loves to be at rest. It wants to be at rest. Understood? So it will stay where it is. The lower part alone moves. That is why you will fall backward like this. On the other hand, imagine you are inside a moving bus. You tell me, moving bus. Bus is moving, you are moving. Suddenly the bus stops. What will happen? Just you fall forward. Why? The lower part of your body, which is in contact with the bus, will come abruptly to stop along with the bus. But the upper part is what? That still loves to be in motion. Correct? Yes. That keeps moving. So you will have inertia of motion. Or I can tell you another example. Next time when you are on your school bus, try jumping out while seat is moving. Never do that, but you know what will happen? You will. Haven't you seen any of these? You know, when the bus is still moving, if you jump out, you'll fall forward. Why? Because when you set foot on the ground, your foot will come to rest. Okay, the moment you land, your foot will come to rest. But what happens to the upper part? That still remembers that it is in motion, it is inside the bus. Then what? It keeps moving. Correct. But there is a technique to save yourself. Tell me what. The moment you jump, you start running. You start running. You start running.
Yes.
Okay, with the same speed as the bus, then what? Then that's going to be okay. Because upper part is, maybe you were in bus, you were inside the bus, like at 60 km/h. When you jump out, the upper part is still at 60 km/h. Lower part is coming to rest. Make it run at 60 km/h. Understood? Then what? The whole body will move comfortably, no problem at all. Got it? That is inertia of motion. Got it? So inertia of rest, inertia of motion. What is the third one? Inertia of direction. Now, how are you advised to run while being chased by an elephant? Elephant. Now you're supposed to run in a zigzag manner. Never run in a straight line because elephant has huge mass, right? Elephant is massive. Elephant is massive means it has huge inertia. The more the mass, the more is the inertia. It has inertia of direction. It doesn't want to change the direction very quickly. Even if it wants, it cannot. Understood? Because of that is why if you're really fat, you can't have swift movements, right? That is why, because of the inertia. In simple language, inertia means laziness. Laziness. If I say I have inertia, that means I love this job, I want to switch my job. Okay, I have inertia for job. Got it. Got it. Inertia means laziness. In physics, we call it inertia, and in layman's language, it is laziness. Laziness to change the state. Laziness to change the state of rest. Inertia of rest. Laziness to change the state of motion. Inertia of motion. Laziness to change the direction. Inertia of direction. Okay, that is why, you might have heard of this. But railway tracks, railway tracks? Never. On railway tracks, you don't see curves quite often. Railway tracks will be always straight lines. If at all there is a curve, the drivers are supposed to slow down considerably. They can't drive fast. Because while taking the curve, if they are going really fast, what will happen? The direction cannot be changed very quickly. The train will have huge inertia of direction. So the backside of the train will be thrown off. Couple of years back, there was an accident in Spain. The engine driver, he was supposed to drive at less than 50 km/h or something. He was drunk and he was driving at 190 km/h. The backside of the train was actually thrown off from the track. Okay. All right. So I'll show you something. Look at this. Now these are what happened? What exactly happened? This was not properly, this cable bundle was not properly tied to the vehicle. Then as the vehicle came to stop, the rope got broken, and then the rod continued to move because it had inertia of movement, inertia of motion. See this? Inertia of motion. Let's show you a couple of more. This is the train accident I was talking about. See this. The curve, see the curve. On the curves, direction matters a lot. Okay. See what happens. The train won't be on the track anymore, right? Because taking the curve at high speeds, you won't have the enough amount of centripetal force to take the curve. Okay, right. And I quickly show this.
Inertia to pull off this tray without breaking a single plate.
Yeah, that's what I was
A
talking
smooth tabletop. A tablecloth straight, not separate plates. Length of the tablecloth hanging over the edge of the table. Step 5. Pull the cloth straight down toward the ground.
All of them have inertia of
With
rest.
confidence so that the
Okay.
tablecloth slides out from.
Look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that? Where does the ring go? That'll come straight. Why? You didn't see that? See this. When you pull this, see when you pull the ring, the object on top still has inertia of rest. So that will try to stay there itself, but the support has gone, so they'll come straight down. See this? Less mass, less inertia. That is still keep moving, right? Inertia of motion. You're going to strike this plate off, what will happen? Brake will come straight down, right? Why? Because they has inertia of rest. Correct. Inertia of rest. Last thing I'll show you. One second. That'll stay there, no? All will stay there, right? What? I don't have it anymore. Oh, this you already see. Striking the coin now. You strike it off, yeah, this just comes straight now. That's it. No one knows. This is the last one I will show you. 2, 1. Understood. Okay, so shall we write now? All of you got this? Yeah, sure. A force is a push or pull needed to start or stop a motion. Push or pull needed to start or stop a motion. Simply a push or a pull needed to start or stop a motion. Okay, so you need what? Force to start a motion, force to stop a motion, force to change the direction also. Okay, right. Now, next, balanced forces. Forces that cancel out. Forces that cancel out. Now you know what unbalanced forces are, right? I don't write it. Yeah, we can write it. Unbalanced. Balanced forces, forces that cancel out, right? Forces that cancel out are called balanced forces. Okay, they are all balanced. Let's show. Unbalanced forces. Forces that do not cancel out. Forces that do not cancel out. Balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Internal. Internal force. Force from within the system. External force. Think of the examples I gave you. External force. Force from outside the system. Force from inside is called internal force. Force from outside is called external force. Force from inside is called internal force. Force from outside is called external force. Force from outside the system. Okay. Okay. Then force from outside the system. Then you can write inertia. Inertia. What is inertia? Inability to change the state or remain or to maintain status quo. Okay, the tendency to maintain status quo. Okay, or the tendency to maintain the current state. All right, the tendency to maintain current state or the inability to change the state. A body at rest does not want to come to motion. A body in motion does not want to stop. Correct? A body moving in a direction does not want to change the direction. Got it? So basically, it does not want to do anything. That's it. Got it? Right. Take it right. First, inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. Inertia of rest. Inertia of rest. A body at rest. A body at rest does not want to start moving. You can write in your own way. The inability of a body to start a motion. The inability of a body to start a motion is called inertia of rest. The inability of a body to start a motion is called inertia of rest. Okay. Write the example. A man inside a bus falls backward when bus starts. Why is it so? A man inside a bus falls backward when the bus starts. Because when the bus starts, the lower part is willing to go with the bus, but the upper part will hesitate. Am I correct? The upper part has inertia of rest. Am I correct? Correct. Right. Number 2, inertia of rest. Inertia of motion. A body in motion does not want to come to rest. A body in motion does not want to come to rest. Okay, a moving body, the inability of a body to come to rest is called inertia of motion. Okay, right. Example you can write. Example, right? A man inside a moving bus falls forward when the bus stops. Think of it. What happens here? When the bus stops all of a sudden, the foot will come to rest, right? Along with the bus. But the upper part is inertia of motion. It will continue to be in motion. Am I correct? Right. Try to understand the concept, okay? Okay, and then write in your own words. Falls forward. The last one, inertia of direction. Third one, inertia of direction. The inability of a body. There is no fixed definition for it. You can write in your own words. Okay. The inability of a body. The inability of a body to change direction on its own. On a curve, will your car take the curve on its own? No. You have to apply brake, you have to turn the steering, engine has to do the work. Then only the car will take the curve, right? Next time, try to let the car take the curve on its own. Will it take the curve? No. You will definitely fall in a, what do you call it? You will just skid off from the track, right? You won't take the curve. That is because the car cannot change the direction on its own by its own. Got it? Right. So the inability of a body to change direction on its own. Right, the elephant example? That's the previous question. While being chased by an elephant, but it doesn't work well with crocodiles. I don't know why. While being chased by elephants, they are massive, they have huge inertia, but they still manage to get you. Okay, right. While being chased by, because of their body structure, it's very flat and close to the ground, no? So they can make better movements there. While being chased by elephants, elephants cannot make swift movements. Elephants are huge. Elephants have huge mass, huge inertia. While being chased by elephants, it is advised to run in a zigzag path. Run in a zigzag path. Okay. So inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Let us combine them. We have the first law. First law. That is why the law is called law of inertia. What is law of inertia? Every body continues to be in a state of rest. That is inertia of rest. Or in uniform motion. That is inertia of motion. Along a direction. So inertia of direction. Unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. Okay, only the statement will be asked. Got it? So you'll write that also. First law, write this first law. First law is also called law of inertia. It is actually the restatement of inertia definitions. That's it. Inertia definitions, no. Inability to start a motion. That is inertia of rest. Inability to stop a motion. Inability to start a motion. It is called inertia of rest. Inability to stop a motion. It is called inertia of motion. Inability to change the direction. Inertia of direction. You're going to combine them, right? That's it. So you can write everybody, put a space in between. Everybody continues. Everybody continues to be 100% sure. Statement alone will come from this. Numericals will be based on second law. I'll tell you what question will come. You just learn whatever I teach you. That's it. Not even an extra word beyond that. Okay, right. So everybody continues to be in a state of rest. Everybody continues to be in a state of rest. Why that word? Inertia of rest. Okay, state of rest, comma, or in uniform motion, state of rest, or in uniform motion. Why that word? Inertia of motion. So inertia of rest and inertia of motion are already incorporated. Got it? Everybody continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a direction. Why that word? Inertia of direction. So all have come down. Correct. Everybody continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a direction unless it is compelled by somebody has to force. Unless it is compelled by who has to force? External unbalanced force. Very good. Unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. External unbalanced force. Okay, external unbalanced force. Unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. Second law also, write the statement, we'll take a break. Second law. Second law you can tell. Everybody continues to be in a state of rest. Everybody continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. Everybody continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion unless you wrote it again, right? Unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. Okay, I noticed Nashwa writing it. Okay. Everybody's fine, no problem. Everybody continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. Look at this. Second law I'll tell you, and then let me read. Look at this. Force acting is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. I repeat one more time. Force acting on a body is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. You know what momentum is? Have you heard about momentum before? Look at this. Momentum is mass into velocity. Why do we need such a thing in the first place? I can tell you. Just imagine. I tell you that, look at this. I tell you that I've been hit by a vehicle traveling at a speed of 10 meters per second. You won't know about my condition until you know which vehicle it is. It can be a cycle, it can be a train. What is the difference? If it's cycle, nothing happens, right? But if it's train, I know. Right. So what actually matters here? Both of them were coming at same speed, right? See, a cycle coming at 10 meters per second, cycle coming at 10 meters per second, and a train coming at 10 meters per second, will they make same impact? No. Obviously, the impact is more when the train hits you, right? That is why even when the train is about to stop near the stations, you are advised never to go. That is why they draw a line. You are always prohibited from going beyond that line. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Metro lines, they will just draw a line on the platform. Because even an approaching train, even though it's very, very, very slow, that hits you and you're dead. Okay, because it carries huge momentum with it. Understood? Huge momentum with it. Got it? All right. So, so actually what matters is the mass of the vehicle, right? Okay, both are at same speed, but since the mass is different, impact is different. So will mass alone matter? No, I can tell you another example. Just imagine I've been hit by an object of mass 10 grams. What is my condition? I can be dead if it's a bullet, right? Correct. See, 10 gram means even the cap of a pen is 10 grams. Cap of a pen is 10 grams, right? If you throw a cap at me, will anything happen to me? No. But what if you fire a bullet? I'll be dead. Correct. So what matters here? The speed of the bullet, right? Obviously, if we can fire the cap at speed of a bullet, I'll be dead. Okay. That'll be fatal. But actually the speed also has a role to play. That is why we define by combining the mass and velocity. Okay. You can't take mass alone. Like in the case of bullet and cap, both have same mass. A bullet and the cap of a pen. A bullet and the cap of a pen, they will have same mass, but they will have different impacts. Or velocity. Both are coming at same velocity, but train has more impact because of heavier and the more mass. Correct. So we take them together. When that product is more, that contains more motion. The amount of motion that is included. All right. That is why I told you once in Arizona in US, there is this crater which has the size of city of Doha. Right. Have you seen meteors? Yes. Just the other day there was a video in Portugal which the sky was lit up with meteor, passing meteorite. Right. Meteor is actually what it is. It is a stone that is coming from interstellar space. Stone that's falling from the sky. But when they enter Earth, they get burned out because of friction with air. In the month of November, you can see hundreds of them. You go to the desert part. Here we have light pollution in Doha. But if you go to the desert part where there is absolute darkness, you can see many meteorites on a single night. They are like every time, even daytime, they are entering Earth, but they are all burning out. Okay. But one such meteorite fell in Arizona like thousands of years back. That created a crater having a size of 50 square kilometer. Why? Because the stone, even though it is very small, it was coming from such large heights. Understood? So the impact will be huge. Alright, so momentum is such an important word, such a powerful word, such a powerful quantity. Alright, because mass alone is not enough to express the impact of a motion. Or velocity alone is not enough either. Got it? We need what? We need something that combines both mass and velocity. And then we say what? The more the product, the more the momentum, the more is the impact that it can make. The more is the impact. Got it? Even though the mass is less, the velocity is more. All right, mass is less. You are throwing a what do you call dust particle at the speed of light can kill a person. Understood? If you just throw this remote at me, at the speed of a bullet, I'll be dead. You can kill me, right? Understood? Because speed matters there. All right. Or if a train, like I said, if a train comes very slowly and hits me, that can kill me, right? Because mass plays the role there. That is why, have you heard about what do you call it? I don't remember the exact name. I'll show you later. Anyway, near the airports, it is written this note is going to be kept. Do not throw garbage here. Have you seen that? No. You're not allowed to throw dump waste in airport area because there will be too many birds around. And bird hits can cause plane crashes. One small bird hitting a plane can make a huge impact on the body of the plane. I'll show this mathematically. I can show it. One duck, there is this calculation where one duck hitting a plane can impact a force of 30 tons. Okay, 30 tons. You won't believe mathematically, or even you just check it out on YouTube, the bird hit planes. You can see how large an impact that the bird hit can make. Understood? Understood. So that is because of the momentum, huge momentum that it carries. Huge momentum that it carries. Got it? So that is why we need this particular quantity here, momentum. And according to Newton's second law, the force acting is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. This is rate of change of momentum. What does it mean? D by dt of something means what? D by dt of h. When I was in LKG, I was 60 centimeters tall. Now I'm like 1 meter, 70 centimeters. I grew taller, right? As I grow older. Am I correct? So the change in my height with respect to time. The change in my height with respect to time. That is the meaning of ds by dt. What is d of knowledge with respect to dt? The change in my knowledge level with respect to time as time passed. Got it? Got it. So d by dt basically means the change with the time. Okay. The more rapid the change of momentum, the more is the force acting. The more is the force acting, the more rapid the change in momentum will be. Okay, force is directly proportional to dp by dt. All of you understood this? So Newton's second law, right? Second law. The force acting on a body, the force acting on a body is directly proportional to the force acting on a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. You know what momentum is? I told you in detail. All of you online, can you hear me? Everyone online? The force acting on a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum, and it happens in the direction of applied force. The change in momentum happens in the direction of applied force. Applied force. So write this. F is proportional to dp by dt. F proportional to dp by dt. or F is equal to a constant into d by dt of P is mv, momentum. Momentum is mass into velocity. And the last step, F is equal to K into M is taken outside into what is dv by dt? Do you know what dv by dt is? It is acceleration. So force is equal to K into M into A. Newton chose the value of K as 1. He had every freedom to do so because he was the one who defined force. Okay, when you do something for the first time, you have every right to choose the value of constant. All right. Newton chose the value of K as 1 for convenience. Okay. All of you online, you should hear everyone. So, what is the statement of second law? Force acting on a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Force acting on a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum, and it happens in the direction of or occurs in the direction of applied force. The change in momentum occurs in the direction of applied force. Okay, so write it F proportional to dp by dt. That is F. How do you remove proportionality? Put a constant. Yes, K is the constant, right? K into d by dt of momentum is mass into velocity, right? Mass into velocity. And I'll get this m outside because it is a constant. Constants can come outside. So K into m comes outside. It is d by dt of v. What is d by dt of v called? It is called acceleration. dv by dt is called acceleration. So it is kmv. Right. Finally, he chose the value of k as 1. You got F is equal to ma. Got it? The third law, we will write the questions in. Write the third law now. Third law, you know for sure. Tell me, to every action, write this. I don't have to explain it. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Equal and opposite reaction. I explain it now. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. This is how you write it. Force on the second body by the first body is equal to negative of force on the first body by the second body. F12. F21 is equal to negative of F12. What is this? Force on the second body by the first body. Force on Nihal by me is equal to negative of force on me by Nihal. Obviously, myself and Nihal, we are attracting each other, right? There is a force between us, right? Those forces are equal and opposite. Okay. Or think of it this way. Imagine an apple is falling towards the earth. Okay, an apple is falling towards the earth. Why is apple falling down? Gravity, right? Earth is pulling apple with say 100 Newton. At the same time, apple is pulling earth towards it with a force 100 Newton. Apple is also pulling earth. But we don't notice the motion because earth is so huge. Understood? And we are loyal to earth because we belong to earth, right? That is why we say apple is falling towards earth. But what would an ant on the apple say? Ant should be loyal to the apple, right? So he should say like earth is falling towards apple. From the ant's point of view, see, we call it what? We say that the apple is falling towards earth because basically we stand on earth. Right. Imagine an ant sitting on the apples. What is he? He would say like, he belongs to apple and he would say like the earth is falling towards apple. It is like mutual motion. Understood? We can notice the motion if say a billion apples are falling at the same time. Imagine a billion apples are falling towards earth. Obviously, earth will move fast. Understood? Now we don't notice one apple falling, we don't notice the motion because earth's size is so large. We won't notice the motion. Understood? So basically, every motion, for example, look at this. If you kick a football, the football is kicking you back. All right. Look at this. This is your leg and you are kicking a football. You are giving a force on the ball. Then the ball is giving a force back to you. Understood? Every time you exert a force, there is a reaction to it. Understood? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. I can tell you another example. How do you walk? How do you walk? When you walk, Look at this. This is your shoes. You're pushing the ground backwards. This is ground. Okay, you're pushing the ground backwards, right? When you walk, you bend your knees and you push the ground backwards, right? Okay, so when you push the ground, this is the direction of your push. And that is split up into two components. Resolution, I told you in the last class. Oh, you look as if you surprised, so surprised. Why? Because this force is what? This force is resolved into two components. This is horizontal component. This is vertical component. Vertical component balances the weight of your body. All right, vertical component. Whereas the horizontal component pushes you ahead. That is why you keep walking. Understood? Imagine you are walking on ice. Can you push the ground back? No. There is no friction. So will you be able to walk? No. You will fall. Understood? No. I'll repeat another case. Imagine this is the wheel of your car. What does the wheel do? The wheel would rotate, right? When the wheel rotates, it exerts a force on the ground this way. Correct. The wheel is pushing the ground backwards. Now split it into two. This component is opposite to the weight. Correct. Correct. Whereas this component, reaction to that component, pushes the car forward. Okay. Okay. All right. So every time this is an action all the time. Okay. Or even when you you can have many examples for this. Like I said in one class, imagine when you do the butterfly strokes, like in swimming, you're pushing water both ways, right? This is you. This is you. Look at this. This is you. You are pushing what? You are pushing water this way. You're pushing water this way. Look at this. Both ways. Then what? Complete the parallelogram. Draw the diagonal. You're giving the force backwards, straight backwards, right? And the reaction to it is forward. That reaction actually helps you move forward. Understood? Understood. So if you move with one hand, or we swim with one hand, what will happen? What will happen? This is the action, right? This is the action, right? With one hand. So reaction will be in this direction. That is why I said you keep moving in a circle. One day I told you, you remember?
Yeah.
If you swim with one hand, you keep moving in a circle. Because at this time, it is this way. At this time, it is this way. At this time, it is this way. This way. What does it make? It's a circle, right? Correct. At every point, it is tangential, 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 tangential. You keep moving in a circle. Understood? So every time this comes in action in daily life. For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Let me see if I have it with me. Just give me a second. Now, just give me a second. Right. All these. You must have seen this before because it has come many times. Why does it go forward? Because there is an action by the jet. The action is that here, right? The reaction helps it move forward. The reaction actually helps it move forward. Or this one. Look at that. When it shows up, it automatically goes back. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you know. The action on the spring, the reaction on the spring, pushing it forward. Okay, right. I'll show you one more. I don't know which one. Right, action reaction, right? Take the order of thought. And have you seen the tip of Newton's gravity? Now this is law of conservation of momentum. I'll teach you in the next class. When you pull one ball and release it, one ball will come from the side. Okay. Newton's, this is called Newton's gravity. Right. And when you pull two balls together, it's in order to conserve momentum on the other side, two balls will come.
That's to it. So this one's.
One ball, one ball.
It's perpetual motion. You can see here we're in full time an hour of moving. Now the way this works is that it has an energy source, right? So you can stop moving to look at, and it gives a little. This is actually complex. Created on YouTube. As a really.
I'll show you in the next class. Okay. Right. I'll show you in the next class. Okay. Right. So this is Newton's third law. To have free action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Let me ask you one thing. Imagine I'm pushing this pen with 100 Newton. So what is the reaction? Equal and opposite. What is the reaction? If I give 100, I get 100 back. Then my obvious question is, won't they cancel out? No, never. Because the action I give is on the pen, whereas the reaction is on my hand. They are acting on different bodies, right? Okay, see, just imagine I'm pushing the chair. Imagine it is given in the reader, the statement is given in the reader. Action and reaction will never cancel. Okay, I push the chair with 100 Newton. If there is a 100 Newton backwards, why does the chair move? Should they be cancelling each other? Shouldn't they be cancelling each other? You know, actually, imagine you are pushing the box. This is you. You are pushing the box with 100 Newton. Okay, by theory, I said you get 100 Newton back. So they must cancel out, right? So you expect the body to stay at rest, but the body moves. Why? Because these 100 and 100 won't cancel out. Why? They are acting on different bodies. Correct. The action you gave is on the box. The reaction that the box gave is on your hand. Action and reaction are acting on different bodies. Understood? But on the other hand, if somebody pushes from the other side with 100, they will cancel out. Now both the hundreds are acting on the body. Understood? But usually action and reaction will never ever cancel each other. Got it? Why? Because they are acting on different bodies. Action acts on one body because if I hit somebody, I'm giving a force on him. The reaction he gives is on my body. Got it? They can cancel out if both the forces act on the same body. Got it? For example, if I push the chair, and Nabil is pushing the chair in the opposite direction, they will cancel out. Because both of us are pushing the chair. But if I push Nabil, I'm giving a force on Nabil and the force that Nabil gives is on my hand. They are on different bodies, right? Correct. They won't cancel out. Okay, so write this. Start writing. You can write Newton's third law. I'll do a couple of questions. That's the end of discussion. Third law. To every action, write the statement. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Write this. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. That is, write this. F12 is equal to minus of F21. What is the meaning of this? How do you read this, Shan? Force on second body by the first body is equal to negative of force on the first body by the second body. Got it? Force on Nashwa by Dhwani is equal to negative of force on Dhwani by Nashwa. Understood? The force between two bodies is always what? Opposite of each other. They are equal yet opposite. Okay, got it? So you can write and not mark it as important. Mark it as very important. Very important. Very important. Okay. Action and reaction. This can come in an assertion to some question. Action and reaction act on different bodies. Action and reaction act on different bodies. Hence, they don't cancel each other. How do they give the question? Assertion. Action and reaction do not cancel each other. Reason, they act on different bodies. Assertion is true, reason is true, reason leads you to assertion, right? Action and reaction act on different bodies, they never cancel each other. Okay, they never cancel each other. All of you got it? I'll just summarize it and we'll do a couple of questions. That'll be the end of discussion today. Okay. So just close the book for a moment. Let's have a quick recap. Okay, right. So what all things you learned so far? We started off with the concept of force. What is force? Force is a push or a pull to start a motion or stop a motion or change direction. Right. Then I told you about balanced and unbalanced forces. Balanced forces are the ones which cancel out with each other. Unbalanced forces do not cancel out. Correct. Then internal and external. Internal means from within the system. External means outside the system, like pushing a car from inside and outside. Okay, or lifting you by your hair, by yourself or by your friend. Internal and external. Correct. Then we learned the first law. Before that, inertia. Inertia is what? The inability. Inertia, inability. Inability of rest. Inability for motion. Inability for direction. Inertia of rest, the inability of a body to start a motion on its own. Inertia of motion, inability of a body to stop a motion on its own. Inertia of direction, inability of a body to change the direction on its own. Correct. Inertia of rest example, a body, a bus, suddenly starts, a man inside falls backward because the lower part keeps moving ahead while the upper part stays at rest. Correct. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion. A bus is moving, suddenly it stops, the man falls forward. Why? The upper part still is in motion, right? But the lower part comes to rest. Correct. Upper part has inertia of motion. Then inertia of direction. An elephant chases you and you will run in a zigzag manner. Why? Because the elephant cannot suddenly stop, suddenly start, suddenly change direction. It's very difficult for the elephant. Alright, because of the law of inertia. Got it? Then combine them to get the first law. Every body continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion. I repeat, every body continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a direction. So rest, motion, direction, all have come. Correct. Unless it is compelled by an external unbalanced force. External unbalanced force. Okay. Then I told you about the relevance of momentum. Like I told you, mass alone is not enough to express the motion. Velocity alone is not enough either. Then what? You should combine them, right? That quantity is called momentum. Okay, so momentum tells you about the impact of the motion. If momentum is more, that gives a strong impact on you. All right. So the more is the mass, or the more is the velocity, or more both, momentum will be more, right? Okay. So, and the second law states what? Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. The more the rate of change of momentum, the more the force, the more rapid is the change of momentum. Got it? F is directly proportional to dp by dt. F is equal to k into dp by dt. K into d by dt of p is mv. I'll get this m outside, k into m into dp by dt. And dv by dt is called acceleration, so it is kma, and k value is 1, f is equal to ma. All right, f is equal to ma. And this is second law. Newton's third law is, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. All right, but remember, action and reaction are acting on different bodies and they will never ever cancel each other. Got it? Clear? Right. So let us do some questions now. Right heading, motion of connected masses. Motion of connected masses. Motion of connected masses. All of you online, do you hear me? Motion of connected masses. Close your book. I promise you one question will come from here and you will get it for sure. Just listen to what I say. That's it. Okay, look at this. You know, first thing is an Atwood's machine. I'll tell you what it is. We have a pulley. This is called a pulley. Pulley, you know what? It's a wheel. You know, have you ever drawn water from a well? There is this wheel of which a rope is passing. You will pull the rope, the well will come up, right? I mean, the bucket will come up, right? So, right, correct. So, this is like a pulley, and there is a mass attached to this. And you attach another mass to the other side. This has a name. The name is not mentioned in the reader anymore. It is called Atwood's machine. Atwood's machine, okay? Anyway, Atwood's machine. Now, this is the pulley is suspended from the roof. Okay, there are two masses. This is M1. Or I will tell you an example question, okay? This mass is like say 5 kilogram. This mass is like 2 kilograms. And my question is to find the acceleration of the system. Acceleration of the system when I release it. Now tell me one intuitive answer. When I release it, what will happen? I was holding them in my hand. When I release it, what will happen? 5 will go down, right? Correct. 5 is going down. At the same time, 2 will go up. Both with the same acceleration. Same acceleration. All right. So this is coming down with an acceleration. This is going up with an acceleration. So I'll write equations for both. Listen to me carefully. Look at this. First of all, what is the weight of this body? Weight of a body is written as mg. Am I correct? Just 5 minutes. Listen to me. Weight is equal to mg. Here the mass is 5. So 5g. What about the weight of this body? Weight of a body is mg. That is equal to, tell me, 2 into g. I have written weight of this body. It is downward, like you and me. The weight of this body downward, 2g. Now there is one more force acting. I'll tell you. Look at this. I have a string like this. I have a string like this. Now the string is slack, loose, right? Loose, right? The string is loose. What if I stretch the wire like this? The wire is under a tension. Now we say that the wire is under a tension. Tension is a force, stretching force. Okay, so how do you create a tension on a wire? The wire is slack, it is not having a tension on it. But when you stretch the wire or keep a weight suspended, the wire will be under a tension. How do you mark the tension? There is a standard rule. From the body outwards along the string. That is how you mark the tension. I repeat one more time, even in 12th you will need this. Okay, look at this. I don't know whether a teacher has taught this or not, but anyway you will need it. Okay, there are questions in class 12 also. The wire is slack, this is loose wire, not tension. But when the wire is stretched, the wire has to be either stretched or a weight is to be suspended on it. Okay, so when you keep a weight suspended, how do you mark the tension? Tell me one minute. From the body outwards along the string. Say it again. From the body outwards along the string. Say it again. From the body outwards along the string. Look at this. From the body outwards along the string. See what I'm drawing? From the body outwards along the string. From the body outwards along the string. From the body outwards along the string. You know, this is tension T. This is tension T. Then you may ask, why do I draw two tensions? Ask me. Why? Because just now I told you, for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction, right? So for this tension, there must be a reaction tension. All right. On the same wires, same tension acts twice. All right. One is the action tension, the other is the reaction tension. All right. Now see what I'm going to do. I'll take this figure along. This figure alone, I'll write an equation for it. Tell me, is it going up or down? It's going up or down. Look at the arrow and tell me. Being the heavier one, it is going down. So the downward force is greater. Downward force is greater. So I can write 5g, the downward force 5g, minus the upward force t is equal to 5a. How did I write it? F is equal to ma. Net force is equal to ma. I repeat one more time. I'm writing the equation. What are the forces on this? What are the forces? It's easy. What are the forces on this? One is the tension. Second is the weight. I find the net of them. Will I take T minus mg or mg minus T? Depending upon whether it went down or went up. Correct. Here it went down. Look at the arrow, went down, went down. So that is greater. Tell me what? 5g minus T is equal to 5a. That is my equation number 1. Now, let us draw another equation, write another equation for this guy. Tell me what you're going to write. There the forces are, tell me, T and 2g. You'll take T minus 2g or 2g minus T? T minus 2g. Why T minus 2g? T is greater. How do we know? It is going up. Going up. Who is up? T. 2g is down, no?
Yes.
2g is down, no? Where is it? See, we just have to see where it is going. It is going up, right? Going up means the upward should be greater. So upward T minus 2g should be equal to 2 into A, MA. You add them up. When you add them up, T should get gone. If not, what you've done is wrong. All right. So T and T are gone. What do you get now? 5g and minus 2g. 3g is equal to 5a and 2a, 7a. So A will be what? 3g by 7 meter per second square. I got the answer to acceleration. Got it. And you can put it back in these equations to get the tension. All right, tension. Okay, so I'll tell you a shortcut to do this under 30 seconds. You know, acceleration is given by net pulling force by total mass. Net pulling force. Pulling force means weight. What is the pulling force here? What is the pulling force here? 5g. What is the pulling force here? 2g. So net means 5g minus 2g. Total masses was what? 5 plus 2. What is it? 3g by 7. That is what I told you, right? Without writing all these equations, we can write it straight away. Understood? So you can use the shortcut if it is MCQ. All right, net pulling force by total mass. Net pulling force means pulling force means weight. Pulling force means weight. Understood? Pulling force means weight. Weight of a body. Weight of a body. Here weight of the body is 5g. Here the weight of the body is 2g. So net of them is 5g minus 2g. Net pulling force is 5g minus 2g. Divided by total mass is 5 plus 2. That is 7. So that will be 3g by 7. You can put it on.
5g minus T because mass is more than tension.
The weight is more than tension
Oh.
because it's going down, right? So downward force must be greater. All right. Here it is going up, right? So tension is greater than weight. Understood? So that is how you take. Actually, this happens in daily life. Can you tell me where? Have you seen the elevator problems in school? No. You will see that next in school. Okay. When you stand inside a lift, okay, lift. Imagine you are standing inside the lift. When the lift goes up, in fact, your weight is increasing. Your weight will increase. That is called apparent weight. Apparent weight. Your actual weight is mg, but you will show that it is m into g plus a. For example, imagine you are going to Burj Khalifa. You get into the lift is taking you up. So initially there is an acceleration, right? Or the lift of your building, it's fine, no problem. You don't go to Burj Khalifa. Okay, right. Anyway, you are inside the lift. When the lift goes up, your weight will increase. When you come down, your weight will decrease. That is why when you are inside the lift, suddenly when the lift takes you down, you will have a tendency to vomit. Okay. If the lift is an old one, you will have a tendency to vomit. You will feel the weightlessness. All right. You will see the apparent increase in weight when the lift goes up. That is called G factor. G factor. It is felt actually much more while driving a what do you call racing car. F1 racing, you know. F1 racing, Formula 1 racing. Formula 1 racing, no. Inside a car, Formula 1 racing car, you may feel like up to 5G. That means if your actual weight is 100 kilograms, you'll be feeling like 500 kilograms. Understood? On your body, 500 kilograms. I once read in a Reader's Digest, a magazine, you know, a man, have you heard about seat ejection mechanisms for fighter pilots? Fighter pilots?
Yeah.
Fighter plane? Fighter, have you heard about fighter planes? Okay, different countries have different types of fighter. For example, America, US has like F-35 and all those things. Russia has Sukhoi. France has Rafale, right? Anyway, those fighter planes, actually pilots are costlier than planes. Pilots. It's very expensive to train a good pilot, understood? So if they are certain that the plane is about to crash, they'll take the plane to some uninhabited places, they'll simply let the plane go, they'll eject. There is an ejection mechanism, understood? They can simply pull a lever and they'll just shoot off on the plane and they'll come down safely with a parachute, understood? Seat ejection, pilots, pilots never, actually while even while training, they are advised to simply let the plane go. They have to make themselves safe, understood? The pilots are posted. Got it? It actually takes a lot to train a good pilot. All right. So these ejection mechanisms actually puts a lot of G factor on you. G factor. Once, like I said, once while ejecting, a pilot felt a phenomenal 19 G. That means his actual weight is 100 kilogram. He was feeling like 1900 kilograms only. Understood? Actually, his spinal cord got contracted a bit. He got permanently shortened, like by few millimeters. Yeah. His height actually, because enormous G factor is acting on your body. Enormous amount of G factor is acting on your body. Understood? And another case I'll tell you, in 1964, one engineer, he was designing seat belts, the car seat belt now?
Yeah.
Car seat belt. And he was driving a car fitted with a rocket engine, and he was driving at 692 kilometers per hour. And the car was brought to rest in 1.5 seconds. Think of the deceleration. He used 48 braking systems for it, 48 braking systems, and eventually he brought it to stop in 1.5 seconds. And the G factor on him was 40. 40 means if his actual weight is like 100 kg, he had like 4000 kg weight on him. Understood? His ribs got broken, eyeballs popped out. He survived the crash. Actually, it is similar to throwing you onto a concrete wall at a speed of 200 km per hour. Just imagine yourself to be thrown onto a wall, concrete wall, at a speed of 200 km per hour. Okay, he still survived it. He still survived. That is called G factor. All right, that's all. Because of the way, when you are in an accelerating system, this will happen. I will show you. Look at this. I'll just show a couple of things. This is the G factor I was telling you about.
At the Harlan Air Force Base in New Mexico, John Stapp completed 29 rocket-powered slag deceleration experiments. The plan was to strap it in tight, accelerating to high speed, and then bring it to a sudden stop to test the effects of sudden high-speed deceleration on the human body. It was a high-risk experiment, and no one knew if Stapp would survive. Riding a sled called Sonic Wind, which generated about 50,000 pounds of thrust, he hurtled down a 1.5 kilometer rail track, accelerating from 0 to 1,000 kilometers an hour in just 5 seconds. A water break stopped him in his tracks in less than 2 seconds. The severe jolt was like that felt by a driver crashing into a brick wall at nearly 200 kilometers an hour. He experienced a phenomenal force of 40 Gs, more than anything scientists thought humans could survive. This faster than a bullet ride left Stapp temporarily blind. He burst nearly every capillary in his eyeballs. But surgeons discovered that Stapp's retinas hadn't detached.
Now I'll show you one more thing. This is like, actually astronauts, space scientists, during the launching, they feel this, right? 7G, 8G. So they are actually trained for this. Look at this. While on Earth, they are trained for the G factor, okay?
Maximum of 7 Gs.
You can see the G factor. Now it is 1.38.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
You can see the variation here, G factor.
How you doing?
It's around 3.5.
Tell me now and start that lower body spirit. Okay.
Breathe those legs, nice and tight. 1, 2, 3. Looking real good. Squeeze everything nice and tight.
I'm moving it.
Not yet, not yet.
It's only 2.5. Even then, we'll see what happens.
Clear at this point?
It's around 3 now.
The 4G right there, right there.
There is something called G-induced loss of consciousness. You will fall unconscious after some time. You're not properly trained for it.
On top, breathe.
For 1 minute.
You're on top, breathe. You're on top, breathe. You're on top, breathe. Oh. On top, breathe. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Most of your breaths.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Go. Legs tight.
Right, 5.6.
3. Good. 2, 3. 1, 2. Well, okay. Stay tight, stay tight, stay
That's
tight,
called
stay tight.
G-induced loss of consciousness. One fighter pilot in US actually he lost life over it. He was training another pilot and then suddenly he lost consciousness. He was one of the best trained pilots in US and suddenly he had an attack and then he lost his life. Okay, anyway, I'll tell you one more. I'll show you later when I take it in the next class. This is an actual G which was felt in a racing car
To
crash.
make this all happen, he's gotta be thinking inside his cockpit right now. But
G factor was 240. 240.
Major
He
incident
survived the crash, but that is the largest ever G factor survive.
up into the fence.
Survive.
So 2 cars involved.
That's Schechter right there, you can see him moving inside the cockpit. His helmet, his steering wheel comes off, car heavily damaged, but we have one other car right now that is very, very heavily damaged.
Now, what will the IRL do? What will the officials decide to do? The debris from Kenny Breck's car, we got way up into the fence. Almost reminds you of an accident Davey Hamilton had here.
In that car, the corner part, all that piece you see right there is part of the under tray of the car. You see by the skid marks right here, the car's going across right now, the cars were side by the looks of it. And then they just take an immediate right-hand turn, so probably had interlocked wheels.
The yellow flag flies at the start-finish line. The question now is with this 12th going competition event, only still wait word on Kenny Breck.
He comes out suddenly. Without any injuries.
As to whether or not this race can be. So now is with the event.
Stabilize. It's the replay of what happened. Breck on the high side of Thomas Schechter down the backstretch. At the end of the backstretch, there's the
How he turns.
Breck's car up into
That's
the
actually
wall,
causing the
virtually splitting in half.
Large
Here is
amount
the
of
shot
time.
now from the end of the backstretch.
right.
Very.
And now my question, have you ever felt this? Have you ever felt this? You feel this on a roller coaster. Have you ever been on a roller coaster before?
Yeah.
Roller coaster? The kind of train that you have in an amusement park. While on a curve, you feel excitement, right? Correct, on a curve. That is why it is written on, you're outside the park, it is written. What you call heart patients are not allowed on roller coasters. Just because of this, because suddenly you will have a lot of, maybe like 2 Gs or 2.5 G you will experience, understood? But the problem is that your blood pressure will go up, right? The pressure will go up and you won't survive maybe, understood? Right. Now again, this is, the what you call plane racing. What is it called? It was a name. Look at this. These are tiny planes, and during these moments, they feel G. Now this pilot is experiencing level times during the moments. All right. It's in fact very difficult to fly these planes, just like cars. Okay, super fast cars, racing cars is very difficult to drive. We may think it is very easy, but you have to survive these kind of G values. Understood? So it all happens because of this. Like I told you, when you move, in this case, tension on the wire, this is similar to it. It is called Atwood's machine. We have a connected system. How do we take it? Like I said, we have 2 masses, 5 kilograms and 2 kilograms, and then weight is 5G, weight is 2G, tension on the wire is T, tension on the wire is T. Why 2 times? action has equal and opposite reaction. Correct. Then what? I write down the equations, I solve them, I'll get the final answer. Got it? Let us do this. Start writing, we'll write this in my head. Okay, write this. Find, straight away write a question. Find the tension and acceleration. Find the tension and acceleration. Draw the figure. This is like a pulley. This is a pulley. And over the pulley, a rope is passing. Mark the masses. This is 10 kilograms. This is 5 kilograms. All of you online understood this? So write the question. Find the tension and acceleration in the following system. Draw the figure. We'll do a lot of questions on this during the revision program. Okay. So find the acceleration and tension in the following system. So what am I supposed to do? First thing is, I should see where it is going. When I take my hands off, which mass will go down? Who is heavier on these 10, right? 10 is going down, 5 is going up. Correct? That is common sense, right? You can draw this. This is going down. Draw this with an acceleration A. This is going up with an acceleration A. Right? Correct? So that is going down with an acceleration. This is going up with an acceleration. Why? Because the heavier one is always going down and the lighter one is always going up. Okay. This is going down. This is going up. Okay. Now what? I have to mark the forces. Which are the forces? First you mark the weight. Weight of a body. Weight of a body is written how? mg. Weight of the body is mg. All of you online, very few responded. Weight of the body is mg. What is the mass there? What is the mass there? 10, right? So it is 10g. Correct. Then what? For this one, tell it me. This one. Weight is what? Weight is 5g. Weight is 5g. Draw this. Weight of this body. Weight of the body is always acting downward. Weight of the body is always acting downward. You know why? Because weight is due to gravity, right? Basically, gravity is downward. Clear, Shan? Weight is downward. Then which is the other force? Think of the other force. Tension. How do you mark tension? From the body outwards along the string. Say it again. From the body outwards along the string. One more time. From the body outwards along the string. Okay, look at this. From the body outwards along the string. Draw this. From the body outwards along the string. Draw this. Draw both the tensions. Okay. You can call this tension T. This is also tension T. Okay. We have two tensions and I told you the reason for it. Right. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. This is tension number 1. This is reaction tension. Okay. Now, write the equation for it. You may put this in a circle. This is called free body diagram. Your teacher might have said that. Free body diagram. You take that circular body along and then write down an equation for it. Never learn things by heart. Tell me, what do we get? Is it t minus 10g or 10g minus t? 10g minus t. It's going down, right? It's going down, right? See where it is going. This is like 10g. 10g is going down. So I can say 10g minus up is t is equal to 10 times a. Net force is equal to 10 times a, right? Correct. Okay. Then for this body, you can write, you can draw for this body also, free body diagram for this body. For this body. How about that body, Penny? This is t minus 5g, right? It's going up. So t minus 5g is equal to 5 times a. Add them up. When you add them up, these T's should get gone. 10G and minus 5G. That will be 5G. 10A and 5A. 15A. Correct. 5 and 15 are cut with the big. So A will be G by 3 meter per second square. You can put G value as 10 if you want, 10 by 3. Or keep it this way, no problem. Got it? Got it? Below which you can write the shortcut. For discrete questions, 2 mark question, you can't use shortcut, okay? If they ask in a 2 mark question, you have to write the steps. If it comes in MCQ, you can use the shortcut, okay? There's high chance of coming in MCQ also. This is the MCQ shortcut. Net pulling force. Net pulling force by total mass. Okay, net pulling force by total mass. Net pulling force by total mass. What is pulling force? Weight. Weight, okay. One pulling force is 10G. The other pulling force is 5G. One pulling force is pulling it down. The other pulling force is pushing it up, right? Correct. So you can take net pulling force 10G minus 5G by total mass. Total mass is 10 plus 5. So it is 5G by 15. So you have the shortcut, you have the answer in less than 5 seconds. One of the most repeated questions in NEET and JEE examinations. It's very important. School boards also. G by 3 meter per second square. All schools ask the question. G by 3 meter per second. Okay. Now put it back to one of the equations to find the tension. How to find the tension? I'm using my second equation to find the tension. Okay. I can use first equation or second equation. T minus 5G is equal to 5A, or T is equal to 5A plus 5G, that is equal to, tell me what you're going to get. T is equal to 5 into, what is A? G by 3 plus 5G. So T will be equal to 3 comes here, okay? 3 into 5, 15, 15G plus 5G, 20G by 3. Tension is a force, so the unit is Newton. Got it? Nothing, you take acceleration from it, you put it back to that equation. Understood? Got it? We'll do more of these questions in the next session, okay? Alright. So the exam portions are over. Shall we wait for the day?